Hey everyone, so guys, today we're reacting to, or should I say, we're doing a director commentary on Fnaf Series Episode 4, The Alternate Universe is Born. I'm going to try and make this intro very short, because I think I recorded, like, one other version of this where I couldn't even get past the, like, main bit, like, the intro, because I got interrupted, I think. But that alone was, like, 6 to 7 minutes, and that wasn't even me reacting to it, that was just me doing an introduction. So I'm gonna try and make this bit pretty quick without missing like stuff to talk about. I'm just gonna speed through it. Like, you guys know how long episode 4 took to make. Like, you know, I won't get too into this video because obviously I already made some videos talking about it. I'll link some of them in the description. Like, why FNAF episode 4 was taking so long. Which was made before episode 4. Basically, in that video, I said a bunch of stuff, reasons why it was taking so long, and, all that stuff. I won't mention all of them here, but obviously the main ones is the fact that I was working on episode 3 of FNAF series, a 1 Hour Freddy and Friends Remastered, at the exact same time. So that made it so that by the time I finished episode 3 in December, I was mainly focused on 1 Hour Freddy and Friends Remastered, and that came out at the beginning of April. And I think sometime after that, that's when I officially started working on episode 4. And then, obviously a bunch of stuff happened where in between that long sorry guys, that long period of time, a lot of the voice actors, didn't either like, got replaced or didn't want to do it anymore, all that stuff. So, a lot of the voice actors for episode 4 were, changed. So, but it does make sense because, it's been like, by the time it was like April, like now it's last year, it's kind of weird to say this was last year because I'm recording this now. Oh, yeah, now think about it, the episode 1 Reborn director commentary was recorded last year as well. But yeah, anyways, that's not the point. So, yeah, I was working on episode 4 and all that, and then while doing that, I obviously did episode 1 Reborn, and then obviously right before that, I was trying to do, like, a few months before episode 4, episode 1 Reborn, create Epilogue and all that stuff. I wanted to try and get that out before episode 4, so that, spoiler alert for the ending, more people would know about the creator as a character. But yeah. Something as well is that I'm also going to react to this in the Story of the Creator playlist. If you guys still don't know what this playlist is, it's a playlist that I planned. Well, yeah, basically back when I was working on episode 1 Reborn, the Creator's Epilogue, the main thing was that I made that video solely so that I can make that. It's the newest video of the Story of the Creator when I made that playlist. And obviously you can see up here it says this is for videos that have the creator either appearing or him being involved with a certain series and its creation within his multiverse. And I do like that description because that is correct. Obviously there are some old videos here. We got Tales of Spider-Man the Chief, which was like my third ever video on this channel. We got really bad videos like 1 Hour Freddy and Friends, which technically you could say on quote-unquote non-canon, but technically if there was a rebooted and remastered version, like, if those are canon, then obviously, 1 Hour Freddy and Friends original has to be canon, which kind of sucks, but yeah. So yeah, obviously out of all these videos, I really don't recommend to watch ones like 1 Hour Freddy and Friends. Please don't. There's literally all you need to know about 1 Hour Freddy and Friends is the fact that characters like Jerry, Summer, and Freddy are in it. That's literally it. That's all you gotta know. And then certain other videos here, like this one and this one, have really bad jokes that I just don't, that I think are distasteful, Obviously, by the time we got to here in the playlist, obviously, like, like 1 Hour Freddy and Friends rebooted, that's when stuff got better. But yeah. Anyways, let's stop talking about the Story of the Creator playlist. Let's get into episode 4. So, I don't think there's anything else to talk about in now. I think, yeah, we can officially start, so let's not delay any further.
God damn.
Oh, alright. Alright, here we go, guys. Oh, this intro. Obviously, this is the first episode of FNAF series to not have the, music where it's like, oh, I like to be beside the seaside and all that stuff. Basically, did I say this in previous director commentaries? I'm not sure, but basically, obviously, well, not obviously, but basically that music was from someone that I don't really talk to too much nowadays, or really at all, but someone I'm still, like, friends with, where basically they made a version of a like beside the seaside side song, which is like a more creepy version of it. And I basically just used it for the first 3 episodes of FNAF series, like the intros. But by the time I do go back to those episodes, because the supercut, the episode 1 to 7 supercut, that's gonna basically just be me going back to the previous episodes and making them a little better. Obviously, I'm not gonna change I'm not gonna change the full on like plot to them and stuff. Obviously, I'll just do like minor fixes and stuff, and maybe change voice actors out here and there. Ones that I don't really like to associate with anymore. Or just don't want to be featured. So yeah. Obviously, you can tell by this alone. Like, this is gonna be a long director commentary. We got all the new voice actors here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's also something I wanted to make sure to clarify here, is the fact that because this episode came out, like, way after episode 3, I had to call out the fact that, in episode 1 Rebooted, it takes place, I think, on September 22nd. Isn't it September 22nd? Either way, episode 2 takes place a day after. It takes place a day after. And then by the time episode 3 ends, it's currently almost a month after because of time dilation, because of them going into the portal now. So, then, after that, in episode, well, that's future. Anyways, but yeah, sorry guys, I'm messing up my words a lot, but you know what I mean. Obviously, almost a month passes, so now it's like October 15th instead of October 23rd. Well, not October 23rd, sorry, September 23rd. And remember again, this is all taking place in 2020. This is still in the year 2020, guys. Okay? Like, this is still 2020. But yeah. And then this is the month after episode 2 on September 23rd. So yeah. That is something I do want to try and like call out by the time like future episodes happen, is the fact that literally for the main 8 characters, again, this is only for the main 8, and it's that for them, episode 2 to episode 5, yes, episode 5 will be right after episode 4, obviously, all of those episodes, like in the middle, like the very middle of the series, all of those take place in one, well, not one day, but like for them, like for the main 8, it basically takes place in one day. So that means that they go through all of this shit, like, non-stop. Like for us, it's like, once in a while. No, like for all these characters, episode 2 to 5, it's fucking non-stop. So, we'll see how that is by the end of episode 5.
Okay.
And then the scene 1 frames were basically done by like I think April, as I already said, because obviously that's when I finished One Night Freddy Friends Remastered.
God damn it!
Seriously? Again?
No, not this time. We're going to find Evil Freddy for everything he has done to Fazbear World.
Well, Freddy, I have lots of questions about this portal. And what even is it?
Honestly, I don't care what it does or what it is. We need to find Evil Freddy.
Well, my theory is that this portal is connected to the multiverse, and whatever you saw in it is probably one of infinite universes of possibilities. There are even multiple multiverses, but who knows if this portal is even on that level. But even for infinite universes, it doesn't stop. This bit was basically just to explain how the universes work, kind of, in FNAF series, or at least some kind of quote-unquote theory, Obviously, in FNAF series and all, like, the story of the creator, obviously, basically, how it works is that there are a bunch of universes, or, like, a bunch of them and stuff, and, like, basically infinite. And obviously, there can be a universe where it looks almost the exact same, and, it's not a thing where every single one has to be drastically different, Obviously, it's like an infinite universe thing where, like, the slightest of difference could, like, But I don't know, it's from seeing the same thing, person or environment multiple times. Like, example, a universe where there is infinite gold, or another where there is infinite gold and one living being.
Did you just say gold? Sign me up!
Freddy, you okay?
Let's go get Foxy. He is not being let off this time.
Yeah, he is very angry. He does not like Foxy jumping in the pool
Okay,
again.
this time, Freddy Plus is in charge.
But wait, why not me?
Because I'm the smartest.
Is that
Poor
true?
Funtime Freddy Plush. Oh man.
Oh.
That line makes me so sad though when he goes, oh. Like that actually, every time I hear that line, I slightly feel like, well no, I have slight like watery eyes whenever I hear that line because it's just like, it's so sad. Like, you know, Golden Freddy does not treat Funtime Freddy Plush with respect. Obviously, you know, that's a joke, but, you know, like, that's kind of, like, the joke is that he's not really respecting him as much, because he's kind of stupid. So, you know, in this, and it's funny as well, because later in this episode, obviously, he'll be in, like, the 2D style, like, Luke style, and he's, like, all unfinished and stuff, and then, you know, he doesn't get much focus as the other characters, like Freddy and Evil Freddy, and, you know, dialogue, because, you know, obviously Luke has to talk, you know, obviously all, you know, like, Golden Freddy kind of put to the side in scene 2, and I feel like that kind of goes into the joke more about, like, you know, him not being as focused or, you know, respected, because it was basically karma for this scene. I don't know, I kind of like that joke, and I feel like that joke may continue in episode 5, when we see Funtime Freddy Plush again, hopefully, at some point, you know.
Are we not going to go back into the portal?
We went in that portal in the first place to find out what it was. And thanks to that dumb plushie, it's a portal to infinite universes. Maybe even multiverses. And honestly, I don't want to go through it just to see that damn pufferfish again.
But what if it takes them to another universe, where they get powers, including getting the ability to get back to this one and beat us up?
Plus, you did tell us about powers in other universes previously 6 years ago.
Alright.
Alright, one of these lines here, I'm not gonna say which one, but one of them, you know, here, that one the free say, is actually foreshadowing, I think, for episode 5. So, yeah. Yeah, one of the lines here is gonna be foreshadowing for episode 5, you know. So,
Let's go.
I remember at some point when editing that, every single time I got to the third one, it played it twice. And luckily at some point I did fix that. I love this. I love how this does start though. That's my fucking hell, I love this scene. Alright, fun fact, me and Luke actually, so this beginning bit right here, up until Luke says, you know, like Luke's first line, when it cuts to black, all of that scene, well, not all of it, but, like, this scene right here, this little, like, beginning bit, this was actually being worked on when episode 3 was happening. This was originally what episode 3 was going to be. It was going to include Luke and stuff, and that's why I was kind of teasing him up at the end of episode 2. But, unfortunately, you know, he was too busy, and that's why I eventually, you know, made the mess that was called episode 3. And that's why, hopefully, in episode... what was it? And that's why in episode 4, that's why I brought him back to work on scene 2, and thank God we got it done. Like, I still remember when scene 2 was first finished and it was announced, and, good times.
Yeah!
Obviously, minus stuff like, you know, Universe 241, obviously that wasn't there when we were working on episode 3. Just minor things here and there. This joke was, oh my god, I remember back when we were working on episode 3, and then when this got canned, I still remember thinking, oh god, one of the funniest scenes, or heck, even the funniest scene in FNAF series will no longer be featured or shown to anyone. But now I think about it, now that it's here in episode 4, the funniest scene in FNAF series is now been restored, and it's this.
What is this place? Who are...
Why am I unfinished?
Because
That'll
you
be answered
disrespect my
shortly.
boy.
And by shortly, I mean now.
So long story short, you are all characters from a game called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, here we go. And then obviously in the background, you can see all the shots from the previous episodes. Oh, well, not all of them, but you can see some of them, like the prominent ones. Obviously, some of them. Look, see, this goes into the joke even more about Funtime Freddy Plush being so important, even though he's kind of stupid.
Me to watch on all.
Like you can see, all these shots
to make sure everything goes.
And then and then you just got that. You just got Fnaf 777 continually revival. Oh, I love this scene. Oh, honestly. Anyways, oh yeah, something as well that I wanted to do for episode 4 is for the characters to find out that they were in a video. Well, not they were in a video game. Obviously, this isn't a video game. This is technically a series. Or at least within within the series, it's a series. You know, that the creator is doing and all that stuff, you know, like with One Night Freddy and Friends, where he's like, oh, my projects, you know, that shit. So yeah, obviously, but like their main like backstory, you know, like within outside of the creator's multiverse, obviously, you know, they're from a video game, and that's kind of what they find out. They're like, oh, all these characters that we know, they're technically not real and stuff, you know. Something as well is that Luke was actually mentioned by the creator in an earlier part of the story of the creator, and that was in the Tales of Shabba and the Chief Part 7, I think. I think at the end of there, you can hear the creator saying like, oh, you know, I wonder how Luke's doing, and kind of how I see that is that the creator at some point met Luke, and he like occasionally went to him and said, yo, you know, you want to work on episode 3 together, kind of like, you know, a little parallel to how we were working on episode 3 together. And my headcanon for that is that at some point, maybe Luke, you know, either backed down or didn't want to work on it anymore. Hey, maybe he was just busy, just like, you know, IRL, you know, maybe he was just busy. And then obviously the creator like worked on the episode himself and it turned out shit. But you know, then the timeline just continues. So yeah. And I guess you could say because of time dilation, even though episode 4 takes place right after episode 3, that for the creator, all this shit is still happening in like real time, where episode 4 took like ages to come out and stuff. That's how you could kind of see it, is that episode 4 did still take a long time in like the creator's POV, but obviously everyone else is just right after. So you know, it's interesting. It's interesting but complicated. But yeah. Obviously, you know, Luke is a lot more self-aware, and that is something I also wanted to point out as well. So I wanted to make the characters more self-aware in future episodes, but the plan that I do have right now, I don't think they will be super self-aware. I don't think they'll be making like super, you know, funny jokes about like, oh, real life stuff, you know. Obviously, that's not what I have planned right now, and hopefully that's a good thing, but at the same time, I do want to show in the future episodes how this does affect the characters, how, you know, them being in a, literally, you know, from a video game, you know, but being made into this multiverse as, like, you know, versions of those characters, and, you know, that, like, just the fact that, you know, like, obviously, you know, it's just, it you know, like, if you found out that you were a character in a video game, but then you're also in this multiverse where there's, like, infinite, you know, characters and stuff, you know, infinite versions of yourself, you know, that, and it makes you less unique and, like, you know, special or even of worth, and that's something that I should definitely cover in future episodes, because that is a lot more serious thing than I, you know, do it in here. Something I also noticed while talking is that Bonnie's ears are actually backwards. Because obviously Bonnie's ears wouldn't, you know, have the color on them, you know, when they're backwards, so, oopsies. Oopsies.
Wait, so we aren't real? We're just characters from a horror game who are in this series with a dumb name? And most of the other people we know are from different media too? How long
And then here's Luke's favorite line.
does it take for episodes to come out?
Does say good. It faded before I could pause it. God
No,
damn
I've
it,
never
really
actually
well.
thought of that
Luke
before.
knows, Luke
I should
knows.
probably check. Whoa, so that's how long it takes.
FNAF series wiki. Yeah, certain stuff like this, of him, like, looking at FNAF series wiki, and then later stuff of, like, Foxy, like, you know, almost accidentally hitting Luke with his hook were in the script, but it was minor things that he added in there that I think made the scene more organic, which I really like. So yeah.
Hey, is it true that my voice changes not only through
And then this as
but
well.
every single episode?
Yes, actually.
Wow, that's interesting.
You should
I do like the fact that they point out the fact that Chica's voice is literally changed every single episode, but hopefully episode 5 will be the first episode where Chica's voice never changes again.
also fire me, because if I wasn't here, the evil triple.
Oh yeah, something I forgot to say. Most of the voice actors for episode 4 said that they would come back, and I want to say thank you for returning and still staying with this series. So yeah. I think one of the voice actors that may not return is the voice actor for Foxy. But I'm not sure about that, and I won't, elaborate on that too much now, but yeah.
Come out that portal right after you.
Wait, they followed us into the portal again? How predictable.
Whoa, what if we swing that thing?
We are ending this.
How are we going to do that? We can't kill them. We don't have any other options. We tried reasoning with them, and why this all started.
You're right, Bonnie. But we need to figure this.
I also just realized that Bonnie doesn't even have his guitar in the scene, and Freddy doesn't even have his microphone. Maybe I could do a joke on that in episode 5 or in the future at some point. In the future when they maybe see Luke again. Obviously, I'm not confirming that they'll see Luke again in episode 5 or anything like that. But imagine a joke where they actually do meet Luke again at some point in time. And they remember the fact, oh shit, wait, weren't we holding a microphone and guitar and all that stuff? And then Luke just makes a joke about how they just randomly disappear.
Somehow, after 6 years
Yeah, that
straight,
obviously wasn't intentional.
so we'll figure it out.
Well, maybe
Okay,
that.
then.
We should.
We do not kill them, especially not Evil Chica or Evil Samurai Foxy, since they only follow his orders.
So,
That kind of shows you how Freddy feels for Evil Chica and Evil Samurai Foxy. He doesn't necessarily think, oh yeah, they're also just as Evil Freddy, even though deep down, we will find this out in future episodes, but Evil Freddy isn't necessarily evil. Even in these first 4 episodes, not even counting episode 1 Reborn, because different timeline. Obviously the episode 1 Reborn ending is basically just, episode 4. But all that stuff, so far we haven't seen Evil Freddy or any of the other, the Evil Triple really do anything evil. Yes, we've seen them do stuff that's necessarily, kind of bad. Obviously there was Evil Samurai Foxy, hitting Golden Freddy in the eye by the end of episode 3. But, that's probably the worst that they've done so far that we've at least seen. So, obviously, the name of them being evil, maybe isn't fully justified, but we'll see where that goes.
you ready?
Not really.
Too bad.
What is this place? It looks way different to our world and the...
Okay, now looking at it, I actually really like how Evil Freddy's, not... I would say hand, but obviously he doesn't have, 2 hands, or at least the one I'm talking about. I do like how his arm, the top of his, arm where, his hand is gone. I do really like that little detail of it not just being a flat surface. You can kind of see, I like that. But yeah.
with that pufferfish.
I'm not introducing myself again. Oh, right. I need to switch engines.
Yes! It was 241G. So you're probably wondering how the hell this works. So, I guess because Luke is a more powerful being, which again will be explained in future episodes. Well, I guess kind of how I see it is that maybe the creator at some point when talking to Luke, maybe while they were working on episode 3, or maybe at the very start when he gave him the permission to work with him for episode 3, his little projects, maybe when that was going on, he gave Luke tons of his powers. Obviously, so how it works is basically if the creator gives someone else his powers, he doesn't have those powers anymore. It's not a thing where it duplicates and everyone can just have powers. But it's a thing where you can give someone maybe an amount of energy, if they can absorb it, and if it depends how much energy you have. If you have a bunch of energy, then you're basically one of those powerful beings in the multiverse or the creator's multiverse. you know. So yeah. And then how I see it is that the creator basically just gave most of his powers to Luke because, you know, I guess he was kind of egotistical. Well, not egotistical, but, like, maybe he was just like, oh, because I'm the creator and, you know, I can do whatever the fuck I want because it's, you know, my world and, you know, I control everything, that giving someone most of my powers won't change, like, shit. Even though, you know, it does. So, yeah. And the idea of Luke having, like, 2 universes, you know, inside of one, I guess you could just say that, you know, within the Creator's multiverse, there are 2 universes inside of one. Or, hey, you know, because obviously there are pocket dimensions or pocket universes inside of other universes. So, you know, that it really shows you how there are just infinite universes.
That sounds interesting.
Oh hey, you three. Here's what I've been telling the others for the last 6 hours. We'll have it in exactly 3 seconds.
I think this slowed down. Wait, actually, let me check.
Wait, what?
Hold on, I want to check. Can I actually slow that
We'll have
down
it
and
in
see what it
exactly
says?
3 seconds.
Hold on, I want to check. Okay, but I think slowed down. I think he's saying something about the fitness Grand Pacer test. I think that's what he's like, you know. I think it's basically just that entire speech.
We are from a game?
I'm not doing this again. Just fight or something. I need a coffee.
Alright, Evil Freddy, we are
canon, Luke
ending
has
this
coffee.
once and for all.
I'm not here for you, Fazbear. I'm here because I remember seeing that portal now from a long time ago.
Oh, poor guy in the
But that's not
background.
your concern.
He wanted them
How
to
do you
fight.
know about the portal?
It's okay, man. In a future episode, the characters will fight. It's confirmed.
This
The
scene
characters
is
will
way
fight.
too long. Thomas!
I wanted to be extra short.
For God's
Thomas
sake,
cameo.
Thomas, you had one job.
Among Us!
Oh hey, it's a sussy box.
Sorry, I had to.
Really, man?
Great, now we're all the way here.
Yes, that
What do we
was
do
in the
now,
script, by the
boss?
way. That was
Let's
my
wait for
idea.
another convenient portal
Of
to
course
appear,
it was.
which will definitely lead us back to those 5 soon. Look, a portal.
What do we do now?
How
Just Golden
convenient.
Freddy on the floor.
But wait, what about
Well,
those
everyone's on the
3?
floor
They'll
besides those
meet
2,
back
but...
with us. Apparently, our multiverse is as small as Toy Freddy's game collection. Back at home.
Yes, it is canon. Toy Freddy does have a game collection. Even though he only talked, like, once in episode 1 rebooted, I think. Oh boy, here we go.
Are we back at
Honestly though, it was really fun to do this scene because I got like previous frames from episode 1 Reborn. That is something as well. I actually do have a folder or an album on my photos app on my phone. It's actually called Important Stuff Future, and the first image that is like shown on the main thing and then like, you know, at the very beginning is actually literally just the Rick and Morty portal I use for these episodes. And then a lot of the things I do have at the bottom of that folder is a pretty big folder. But you know, in that I actually do have some like shots from like, well, not shots, but I have some frames for episode 1 rebooted. I still have some from episode 1 reborn. You know, I don't delete them after finishing the episode. I usually just keep them there just in case I ever have to reuse them because, you know, they're in good quality. So yeah, so that's why these shots actually look pretty clean, even though they're from the previous episode. But yeah, I do really like the idea of episode 4's ending basically just being an extended version of, you know, episode 1 Reborn's ending, and plus it does connect the episodes together, and you know, because I did say that episode 1 Reborn would be important to episode 4, and I was right.
Hope we are, so I'm not flown through the air again.
Wait, is that... That line doesn't really make too much sense now, since we see them, like... Well, no, actually, now think about it, we don't technically see them jumping into the portal. It just cuts to black, and then it says they've run out of budget, so... You could just say that off-screen they just got hit by something, or some shit, like, you know, or they've accidentally, like, you know, fell... You know, because, you know, they run out of budget, you know, you don't see what happens next, so... Maybe they were hit by something, maybe some Among Us, who knows? What the... Why did you just come out of a convenient green portal?
You sound...
Something I mention a lot in the story of the creator and the FNAF series, you know, is the fact that the portals are convenient as fuck. Like literally, like, if, you know, it's gonna get, you know, I do like how that is mentioned, though, you know, it's not something subtle where it's like, oh, how can we, well, I don't know, I guess it could get annoying after some time, but, you know, we'll see.
Different.
I don't think this is our universe. They definitely not the...
Oh yeah, something subtle as well is that in episode 1 Reborn, they call this world, well, not world, oh, there's a, there's a notification from Sushi, the voice of the Chica. Oh my god. Yeah, I should have probably turned notifications off for that. Hold on, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. I just turned off notifications because, you know, I obviously, you know, there was Sushi talk. Oh yeah, there is a voice actors group, or a DM group. Yeah, there's a voice actors group with, like, you know, 10 people, obviously, where has me, Luke, and then the main 8 voice actors, which, you know, I make sure is pretty active. Anyways, back to what I was saying. In episode 1 Reborn, what was I saying? Yeah, in episode 1 Reborn, there's a subtle thing where one of the characters calls the town Fazbear Town, and they don't call it Fazbear World. Cause there's nothing as well. You know, well, actually, I'll mention that in a second. But yeah, obviously, you know, the difference between the Reborn timeline and the rebooted timeline, and maybe even the original timeline, is that, you know, I'm pretty sure by the time when I was working on episode 1 original, I think that world was basically just called also Fazbear World, so yeah. But yeah, those two are Fazbear World, and then Reborn is, you know, Fazbear Town, to just, like, you know, differentiate them, you know, make them different. So that's the little soul thing that says, hey, yeah, this is another universe and all that stuff.
Heroic 5, we know in Fazbear World.
No, it can't be. The multiverse exists. I briefly thought about it one time, but it's actually reality.
Well, we don't have anything to do with any of you or this universe. So me and my friends are going to find our way back.
I do like how they stand at one as friends. Oh yeah, by the way, that line about him talking about how they're his friends is probably one of the most wholesome things we'll ever hear in this series. But oh boy, it's gonna get dark in episode 5.
Where the evil triple? Oh,
there they are.
Evil Freddy, how do you know about the portal?
Oh shit, I just realized that thing in the background, which is basically just this, well, it's not a suitcase, but basically it's like this thing that you can carry around, obviously kind of like a suitcase, but in it is like a bunch of coloring shit from like ages ago that has my real name on it, because obviously I wanted it off frame. But I think that is actually now currently in my closet, so when I do come back to this scene, I may have to bring it back out and put it in the exact spot for episode 5.
Well,
oh, here we go. The surprise ending. Hello, my creations. Obviously, because this is the alternate universe 1, of course there's gonna be some kind of cliffhanger. Like, that was obvious. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, bro, that ending still hits though. Oh my god, Jesus. But yeah, oh yeah, something as well is that has been pointing out as well. The creators, like, you know, the figure that I use for the creator for most of my videos is actually just a Star Wars figure of like Finn, and that is something that I kind of want to joke about maybe in the future episode. Like, maybe episode 5, I kind of want to just have a joke where someone mentions, yo, you literally look like Finn from the Star Wars, like the new Star Wars trilogy, you know. So I kind of want to mention that in future episode. It's kind of funny. Obviously, I used Finn as a figure because it, you know, represents me, obviously. But yeah, I need to stop saying obviously because it's not that obvious. I do like how I did the credits for this one. Oh yeah, notice how Funtime Freddy plush was the first character to be mentioned. Again, more push to Funtime Freddy plush, and how Golden Freddy was just kind of mistreated this episode on purpose. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, obviously, you know, I do like how for the credits for this, I had, you know, the art, like, yeah, the 2D art style here, and then I had the G mode art style. I do really like how I did choose this music for this. Oh yeah, there's nothing as well. Yeah, isn't this like one of the well, again, not counting episode 1 Reborn and some other stuff, you know, like the main 7 episodes, like not counting anything else, as I just said. You know, in the first 3 episodes of FNAF series, obviously the beginning bit was, oh, I like to be beside the seaside, and then the ending was usually just that, you know, Hellbound theme by J Gems or G Gems. And I think a theme that I kind of want to use for maybe the end of episode 5 is maybe like one of his newer songs, which, nothing about, I can't remember what it was called, but, you know, I talked about it when it first came out, and I said, oh, some of the lyrics actually kind of, like, you know, kind of, like, not, yeah, they kind of foreshadow what episode 5 is going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to say which lyrics, but, you know, you know, future me, when I'm editing this, can you put on screen what song I'm talking about? Because, again, I forgot the name. Thank you, future me. Anyways, but yeah, like, obviously, you know, that song, which hopefully I have on the screen right now, that song, you know, obviously, as I just, you know, I need to stop repeating stuff, I need to stop making this video even longer, but yeah, as I just said, you know, just that, so yeah. And when I do go back to like the supercut and do, oh no, when I do the supercut and I go back to previous episodes, like episode 1 to 3 and all that, I think one of the things that I want to try and do is, for episode 3, I think maybe either the intro and outro music for, you know, the credits, I kind of want to make one of them just freeze the magic number, because I feel like that'd just be kind of ironic how episode 3 used to be one of the worst episodes of the series, and then I try and retool it to make it, you know, a little better, so yeah. Maybe the scene with the creator, you know, with Foxy, I want to maybe, like, obviously I want to retool that, but at the same time, like, I was thinking maybe just completely removing it, but now I think about it, it would be more interesting if the creator and Foxy actually had an interaction in episode 5. That is something I actually haven't thought of before, which I probably should have thought before, you know, because obviously, you know, Foxy literally talked to the, well, I guess he didn't really talk to the creator, did he? I don't know, either way, all I remember is just the creator talking to Foxy, but yeah, basically, you know, in that, like, I think it would be interesting to see if Foxy will remember, like, the creator's voice and be like, oh, yo, that's the guy I, visioned one time and stuff, and try to keep that canon. Well, no, nothing but I said the line and viewers was non-canon in the episode 1 Reborn thing, so maybe when I do go back to that, I cut that line. Maybe that's the one, you know. Jesus, by the time I finish the director commentary, my voice is just gonna be gone. Like, I need to drink after this. I do like how this is short, just a bit short. Oh yeah, I think one of the last lines ever done for episode 4, before I was trying to do stuff like the credits and all that, and trying to, like, finish that off so I could finish the episode by, like, mid-November, I think the last line done for it was the Evil Chica line, like, the last Evil Chica line. I think that was the last ever line for the episode. I think it was, yeah. And then obviously that's it. Oh, this drawing. Oh, boy. So, right here we got this drawing that Dom, the voice actor of Freddy, did. And obviously, as I say here, we'll reference this in a future episode for sure. I kind of want to have this in maybe episode 5. Well, no. I shouldn't talk about it too much. But all that I'll say is that Evil Freddy choking Foxy is something I do want to see. But something that I want to try and do maybe in episode 5 and recreate the shot. It won't be perfect because obviously, you know, Evil Freddy can't put his hand like that. It would have to just be like, you know, I have done some, like, test versions of how I could do that because the characters literally don't have necks. But, you know, now think about it, if I wanted to, I could return to like the 2D style that Luke did in this episode, and maybe I could have a bit where all 8 of them, including Luke as well, maybe all of them are back in the 2D style, maybe that's when they fight each other or something like that. Again, not confirming anything, you know, not saying this will ever happen. So yeah.
Well, that's them dealt with. Funny. Shush.
Fun fact, this was actually another mistake that I noticed. Obviously, I didn't notice the one with Barney's ears, unfortunately, but I did notice the one, like, right here. Basically, it was the wrong logo when it said, like, you know, playing and then pausing, you know. So right here, when he pauses it, it actually, I had the play logo, you know, with the 2 lines and stuff, you know. So I quickly notified Luke about that, and then he quickly changed it sometime before episode 4 came out, so yeah.
I've got to find what this portal's about. Right, here goes nothing. Formed by the creator?
God. Oh, actually, let's listen to this last bit. Oh boy, there's also talk about that. First thing I'll say is that, obviously, as I said before, Luke and the creator have technically already met in the series of the story of the creator. So, Luke actually, I think it was even before scene 3 was done. I think Luke made this little bit at the end. And, oh yeah, that's nothing as well. The post-credit scene for this episode is probably, like, the first ever one where, you know, what's to say? Oh yeah, there wasn't even a post-credit scene for episode 1 Reborn, though. There wasn't even one for episode 1 Reborn or the greatest epilogue, but maybe because, you know, neither of those had, like, you know, I'm not sure. Anyways, back to episode 4. Yeah, like, episode 4 is the first one to have, like, a serious post-credit scene, not just one for the laughs, because obviously episode 1 rebooted had Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon. Then episode 2 had Luke doing the funny. Then episode 3 had Luke doing the funny again. So, you know, I do like how this is the first one to show, yeah, stuff is going to get serious and stuff is going to get, you know, dark. But, something as well is that in this original scene, that Luke made, he had it so that that Luke didn't know. Well, no, he had it so that Luke had another line saying, like, oh, who's that? You know, and then he was like, oh, whatever, and then the portal closed and stuff, you know. Something that Luke wanted to do, where when the portal closes, because of him, like, you know, analyzing it, and, like, basically just, you know, I guess you could say absorbing it, maybe, or just, you know, just checking it out, I guess. He wanted the creator to, like, be notified that, you know, one of his portals was taken down, but at the same time, you know, before, we haven't really seen the creator react to, like, his portals being opened or closed in, like, a, you know, sense way where it's like, oh, I sense, you know, a portal being closed by someone or something like that. But yeah, so that's why I didn't include that. And obviously the fact that the Luke didn't know about the creator before this point, that's why I kind of cut this so that it just ended up, but I think it was very effective. And then this last line is obviously reversed, but I think it says something about, like, oh, this will always be my well, I don't know if it's something about, like, this will always be my multiverse, but I think it's about, like, the creator saying so, like, oh, this is my multiverse, and I'm going to destroy my projects now, and all that stuff, you know, because I'm done with them. And obviously this last bit, there's, a line here where it says, like, this is still my multiverse on screen with, like, the red text. I think that was supposed to connect to episode 3, where in episode 3, I do have a bit where it says this is my multiverse, you know, I think in the middle of it, where, like, the Foxy scene is happening with the creator. And yes, and in episode 5, I kind of want to do this again, where I have the creator saying something like, oh, this will always be my multiverse at the end, or something like that. That's all I'll say, but, you know, because then it will connect episode 3, 4, and 5 into, like, one big, like, event where, you know, the multiverse, you know, gets discovered, and then, you know, the implications of that. So, I don't know, it connects those 3 episodes pretty well. And the fact that I wanted to make this video 10 minutes long. I wanted to make this episode 10 minutes long, even if it was just over it. And, yeah. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it to that. So that was pretty annoying. So I had to just stay with 9 minutes and 24 seconds, which honestly I think was the best time to, end the episode, like 9 minutes 24 seconds. Obviously it was because, episode 4. For episode 5, even trying to write the script for it is like super tough because there's so much stuff that's gonna happen in scene 1 alone. Like, scene 1 of this episode was like pretty short. Like episode 4 is pretty short, characters just being like, oh, another portal, and then eventually they go in it and they just do some banter. Episode 5, scene 1 is gonna have so much shit in it that, like, it's gonna be like, you're gonna have to process all of it and, like, what's going on, and, like, that first scene alone could probably take up the entire episode if I could, but I want to try and make sure that I can fit each scene into, like, episode 5. So, yeah. Like, episode 5 was probably the first episode where I'm like, damn, I should probably trim this. Because, like, episode 4, I was trying to extend it, but then couldn't. But I feel like episode 5 will be the first episode where I have to try and, like, minimize it more. So, but yeah, like, honestly, like, what is there else to say? I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about episode 4. I'm probably gonna stop it here so that I don't lose all my space and then I can actually edit this. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this direct commentary because it's probably gonna take, fucking ages to edit because it'll probably be like, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes or some shit. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later, bye.